Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Going over today's MLB main slate for on DraftKings. I do have my cheat sheet ready for you guys because I know you like it. So I'm going to post this in the comments below so you can open it up on your phone or your laptop so you can just view it in one spot. Anyway, before we continue, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter at cpen_16. That's with two N's. Anyway, let's get into the cheat sheet. So a pitcher today? Well, first I should say I think the Boston and Detroit games can get rained out, so I wouldn't play anyone from those teams. That's why I don't have anyone listed in the cheat sheet. But if that changes, like some of those guys are interesting. So you could ask me in the comments below if that game does play. But I don't think it's going to right now. I think there's like an 90% chance of rain during the game, so it doesn't look very good to play. So my number one pitcher today is going to be Joe Musgrove at 8,100. It's the lowest total on the slate, and Arizona has the second lowest implied total, so Vegas doesn't think Musgrove is going to get beat up or anything. It's a decent pitcher's park as well, and Arizona strikes out at a 22% clip, which isn't it's not that good, but it's not, it's not good as for Arizona either. And Musgrove has been dealing to start, so I'm really liking him. I think he's got some talent, so I think Musgrove's a really good play today. Then we have Yanni Chirinos at 7,400. He should be the starter, and it's a good matchup and a good park versus KC. Vegas odds aren't out yet. For some reason, I think they're waiting on confirmation for Chirinos. But yeah, Kansas City's been striking out a lot lately. I know Paxton struck him out 12 times. Tanaka got them, I want to say 9. It was up there. But yeah, so I think Chirinos is in a good spot. It's a good pitcher's park as well, so it makes a lot of sense there. And then Brad Peacock at 8,200. I'm not a big fan of picking on the Twins, but at home in a decent pitcher's park, it makes me feel a little bit better about that. And Peacock has some strikeout upside. If he gives up some runs, and he's going to make up for it with his 33% K rate. So I don't think he's a bad play at all. And I think the Astros get the win too. Because Odorizzi's on the mound for the Twins, and I don't think he's very good. At catcher, we have Yan Gomes, number 1, 4,200. It's a righty versus lefty matchup in Coors, and 178 ISO versus left-handed pitching, so I really like Yan Gomes today, and he makes a lot of sense. Then we have JT Realmuto, 4,600. Mats gives up a ton of power to righties, and he's been in bad form. He got rocked last time he was out. Didn't even get. I don't think he got one out. So yeah, it was pretty bad. And then Realmuto hits lefties really well with the 175 ISO. And then Tony Wolters, 3,600. He's decently priced for Coors and gets a nice lefty versus righty matchup versus Hellickson. So don't mind if you go there, but I do prefer Gomes a lot today. And at first base, we have Ryan Zimmerman leading the way at 4,300. He's a lefty masher, and he's going to be in Coors versus lefty, so just makes a lot of sense. He's got 253 ISO and 461 WOBA versus left-handed pitching, so he's really good versus them. And he's decently priced too. Then Jose Abreu at 4,400. It's David Hess on the mound for the Orioles, so almost everyone is in play here. They're in Camden Yards as well, so it's a good hitter's park. And Abreu has more power versus lefties, but he's more disciplined as a hitter versus righties, where he strikes out less and walks more. So I think he's a good play as well, but I really prefer getting up to Zimmerman today. Then Ryan McMahon, 4,500, and it's a lefty versus righty matchup in Coors versus Hellickson, so not much to talk about, just in a good spot. And second base, Robinson Cano, 3,300. Always Cano. He just keeps producing versus righties, and they keep dropping his price for no reason. So we're just going to keep playing him. He's a safe play, and Arrieta's good, but he can be attacked with the lefties. So really like Cano today at that price. Brian Dozier, 4,300. If you're stacking up the Nationals, since 2016, Dozier has a 463 ISO versus left-handed fastballs. But recently, he's been worse versus left-handed pitching and better versus right-handed pitching, and I don't know why. So that's something to keep in mind, though. Then Jose Altuve, if you can pay up for him, but I'd rather go to Cano at 3,300. But 4,900, and Odorizzi is not good, and Houston is, so there's your analysis. Houston's stack should be low owned today and is worth a stab in tournaments just because of the Coors slate and how easy it is to fit those guys in with the cheap pitchers we have today. So they should go overlooked today. Then number 1 third baseman is Nolan Arenado, 5,200. I know we like using him versus lefties, but Nolan crushes his main pitch. 352 ISO versus changeup and 307 ISO versus the fastballs, and that's what Hobson's going to throw the most. So, and they're in Coors Field, so Arenado makes a lot of sense. Then Anthony Rendon, he's 5,800, so he's really expensive. I think he's the most expensive bat in the slate, but I don't know if he's playing tonight because he's got a sore elbow. But if he is, he's probably the number 1 play at third base, going against a lefty where he has elite numbers all around, like a 308 ISO, so he's got a lot of power versus lefties. But Arenado's cheaper, and he's not hurt, so it just makes a lot of sense to get the Arenado if you can. And if you need even more savings, Moncada going against David Hess is a great spot actually. He's best from the left side of the plate where he has a 211 ISO, and Hess gets shelled by lefties, getting up a 279 ISO, which is massive. So Moncada makes a lot of sense. And it's a good hitter's park too. And then at shortstop, Trevor Story, just really the same reasons we like Arenado. Love all the Rockies tonight. None of them are bad plays. If you need the salary savings, Marcus Semien 3,700. He should be leading off versus the lefty, so that's fine. And then Carlos Correa at 4,300. He's pretty cheap, and I think the Astros are going to put up some runs tonight. So, and he hits righties and lefties just about the same. And Jake Odorizzi gets hit by both, so I don't mind if you want to go to Correa. I know he did hit a home run yesterday, so that was nice. In the expensive outfield, we have Charlie Blackmon at 5,400. He's on fire after a slow start to the year. He's number one play on the slate for me if you can pay up for him, which I think you should be able to with your pitchers. He's probably the first guy I'd put in. So we like Charlie Blackmon today. And then David Dahl, his teammate, 5,000. It's just another Rocky lefty versus Helix and Coors. Then Juan Soto, 5,500. There's a lot of guys that could have went here, but I think this is a sneaky one. I mean, it's not that sneaky because he's in Coors, but people are going to get scared of the lefty on lefty matchup. But Soto's just as good versus lefties, and Anderson is worse versus lefties. So I think it's actually a really good spot for Soto. And then mid-range outfield, we have Michael Brantley, 4,400. He's a guy I like to play a lot. He's usually always priced in the mid-4K range. And it's just a lefty versus Odorizzi, and Brantley is always safe with his ability to make contact. He doesn't strike out a lot, so he's always going to give you a chance to get on base and score some runs. So he's usually a really nice cash game play. And Larry Garcia, 4,600, just another White Sox lefty versus Hess. And then Michael Conforto, 4,600, and he's a lefty versus Arrieta, and Conforto can mash righties, so this makes a lot of sense here. I think the Mets lefties are sneaky tonight. I don't expect them to have much ownership at all outside of Cano. And then the cheap outfield, we have Stephen Piscotty at 3,300. He should be hitting third versus lefty, and he's just way too cheap for someone with his power upside. And Ian Desmond, 3,900. Prefer him versus lefties, but Hellickson can be hit by both, and he's cheap and he's in Coors, so makes a lot of sense there if you can get him. And then Brandon Nimmo, 3,700. I just like these Mets lefties, and he's cheap and leading off. So really the same reasons I like Conforto and Cano. So let's go to my favorite stacks. I have the impactful weather as Boston and Detroit. I don't think that game plays. But if they do, the Red Sox are pretty cheap, so a lot of them could be in play, but I don't think the game's playing. Then the top stacks are going to be the Rockies, the Nationals, the Astros, and the Mets lefties. And for right now, my core four would be Musgrove at SP1, Zimmerman at first base, and Cano at second base, and Blackmon at outfield. And then I would build my lineup around that as of right now. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for the video. I do like other players, just I list my top three, but there's other guys in play too. So if you have any questions about them, you can comment below. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. And feel free to follow me on Twitter at cpen_16. That's with 2 N's. And good luck today.